Yeah. Should we start? All right. Bienvenue to the podcast where we discuss conspiracies. I bring theory.
And I bring skepticism.
We're not saying these conspiracy theories are true.
We're not saying they're not true.
We're just here to pick at them. I'm your co-host, Tierist Heltroot.
And I'm Aurelius L. Clayton.
This is the Metal Hat.
You know, I've always wanted to rape a boy in Pennsylvania.
Me too.
I mean, the Pennsylvania boys are so much better than the other ones.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Amish flavor.
Welcome to the Metal Hat, where we discuss conspiracies. Today's conspiracy theory sits on the intersection of the paranormal and medicine. Ooh. So the theory goes something like this. So some people believe that ghosts and spiritual entities can attach themselves to living people. And over time, those entities can actually cause physical illness. So the claim is that these entities interfere with the body so severely that they might trigger autoimmune diseases. And that's why they're so hard to classify.
Because they trigger autoimmune diseases?
No, autoimmune diseases are hard to classify and diagnose because they're triggered by ghosts. Yeah. So things like chronic fatigue, joint pain, neurological problems, and long-term inflammatory disease. So those are the things.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
That's ghosts in your blood?
It's ghosts, yes. So the idea is that the immune system doesn't just malfunction randomly. It's responding to something.
Okay, but it does, though. Like, clearly, it does.
What do you mean?
I mean, some people have things attack their own organs, their immune system. But that's just ghosts in the blood
They're responding to ghosts, to spirits.
that have...
Affected your body, yeah.
They poltergeisted my kidney or something.
Okay. All right. So here how... Let's get into it.
That sounds legit.
Right? Let's get into it. So here's how believers...
Wait, though, before you get into, like, who do you see about that? Do you go to the doctor or do you go to, like, Miss Cleo?
Shit, that's a great question. Who the fuck do you go to? I've got ghosts in my blood. What do I do?
Cocaine about it, I guess. I don't know.
Cocaine about it might actually be good.
That'll get the fucking ghost out of your blood.
Yeah. Or at least, make you a little more productive.
Hallelujah.
I'm less tired today.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Okay, so the believers, they call this theory spiritual attachment. And it isn't full-on possession like you see in, the poltergeist and stuff like that. But instead, the idea is that the spirit latches onto someone and slowly drains their energy.
Wait, so, I just get, cirrhosis of the liver or whatever, but I don't get to suck cocks in hell?
Maybe.
Because, if I'm going for the poltergeist thing,
You want to suck cocks in hell.
I mean, that seems like the best part of it.
I don't think that that's exclusive. I think if you die from your autoimmune disease, you probably get to suck cocks in hell. Probably.
You would think they would not let you if that's what you wanted to do. Hell is weird.
Hell is weird. We're going to have to get into that in another episode.
Okay.
All right. So the longer the attachment lasts, the more the person's health supposedly deteriorates. So people who believe in this theory often point to stories where someone develops an unexplained health problem after experiencing paranormal events. For example, someone moves into a new house. Soon they start noticing strange things, footsteps at night, objects moving, the usual paranormal activity.
Yeah. That's not Francesca from next door. That's a ghost. Wink.
Well, if it's a house by itself and no one else is supposed to be there.
Well, maybe it's still Francesca from It's a ghost.
That's right.
Get that ghost pussy.
Well, you would think yes, but then months later, according to these people, you start developing mysterious medical symptoms. Extreme fatigue, brain fog, joint inflammation, autoimmune flare-ups. It sounds like my 40s. What? Maybe I just got ghosts. I don't know.
She just got ghost, girl. That's all it is.
Right? So to believers, it's not a coincidence. They argue the spirit is interfering with a person's energy field, which eventually disrupts the immune systems.
Okay. I don't think...
Energy fields
Yeah.
apply to immune systems.
Yeah, especially since all that stuff is chemical. You would think that it would be your body responding to chemical stimuli and then doing whatever the task is. But I mean, I guess if it's supernatural and it's ghosts,
Who knows? So, yeah, the argument is that the spirit's interfering with the person's energy field. And in other words, the body starts attacking itself because the person's energy balance has been disturbed. I don't like this. I think they should have just left it that there's a ghost in there and your immune system's like freaking out trying to kill the thing that doesn't belong there.
Kill the ghost?
Yeah.
But that implies that there's some corporeal part of the ghost that your immune system can respond to anyway, when the idea from the beginning was that your immune system has no idea what's going on. It just knows something is wrong, right?
I see. So yeah, you're right. Okay, logic would claim that it's an energy thing because otherwise then you'd have to assign something physical to it. And you could test it.
Right.
Where if it's a life force.
Yeah, that's just some vague, nebulous, crunchy hippie bullshit. Maybe.
Maybe.
I kind of feel like I might be Jesus, so there could be God.
No, off topic. You are not, and no, you're not. Anyway, some paranormal investigators actually claim they've observed patterns like this. They see people who report long-term hauntings sometimes also report chronic health conditions and problems. No, obviously these are anecdotal, right?
Yeah, that's not evidence of anything.
Right, they're stories and not scientific studies, but believers interpret them as evidence that entities can weaken the body over time. In these explanations, ghosts are sometimes described almost like parasites. Not physical parasites like bacteria or viruses, but energetic parasites. They supposedly feed off of emotional stress, fear, or trauma, which is why they're causing these scared situation, poltergeisty things in the first place. So really, this is like Monsters Incorporated, the kids movie, but...
For organ rejection?
for autoimmune diseases.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that. It seems like that one thing. Shit. Oh, bullshit. Yeah.
Seems like bullshit.
Seems like nonsense to me. I'm gonna do this fucking crazy idea. You probably never heard this before, but I'm gonna, when I get sick, if I have like organ problems, like, sometimes you gotta feel that shit, right?
Yeah, you just don't feel good? Tired?
I'm gonna go to the doctor.
But why? They don't specialize in ghosts. They don't know anything about ghosts.
Yeah, but you know what they do seem to know about is organs shutting down. And it turns out, if you look back not too far, really kind of like earlier today, pretty much anywhere in the world, doctors were solving some organ shutdown issues completely sans ghosts. No ghosts.
How do you know?
Well, they found none.
How do you know? You can't see them.
They don't report them on anything, and then these people end up becoming healthy later. And so if this is like a ghost situation, how is a doctor solving it with regular physical doctoring, right? So if these guys aren't finding any of these ghosts and they're fixing the problem...
So, to counter that, let me throw out a statistic for you. The number one cause of accidental death in the United States is from medical malpractice, not gun violence, actually. So, one would think that maybe they're not that good at their job.
I mean, they are just human, and I've met some I've met some R-word, some differently abled doctors, and again, they are just human. I've had to explain some of my issues to the doctor who should know what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Literally. And get your paper and pen out, little buddy. It's no time. Not that I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I shouldn't have to be explaining the medical condition I'm coming to get treated to the doctor who's going to treat it. That's kind of scary. That's America, though.
That is America, though. I mean, not a lot you can do about that.
Fucking PPO.
That's a horror podcast. We're not doing that. This is just conspiracies.
Alright.
Well, let me give you a little bit of the history of like some of the historical roots for where this theory started from. The idea that supernatural forces cause illness is actually extremely old. For most of human history, people didn't understand germs, germ theory, immune systems, or genetics. Still don't, to be honest.
Yeah, you got humors in your blood, not ghosts.
And ethers and things.
Yeah.
So when somebody became sick for no obvious reason, the explanation was often spiritual.
Miasma.
Miasma, that's right. That's right. Or curses. Mm-hmm. Medieval Europe, unexplained illnesses were blamed on demons and witches. In many cultures, sickness was attributed to wandering spirits or angry ancestors. Some traditional healers even performed rituals meant to remove spiritual attachments from sick patients. And even our neighbor got ghosts out of her house
That's true.
with a ritual.
Can you imagine your dead-ass great-grandpa that you never saw? Like, you're just the most sweetest, beautiful, loving, wonderful, just fantastic little kid. Mm-hmm. You're running around and, and giggling and all your fucking kid stuff and playing your kid games and all of this shit. And your great-grandpa, Jed, dies. He just fucking dies. He just keels over and dies one day. And he gets up to wherever he's going and he says, you know what? I really do fucking hate that kid. I'm gonna possess and destroy their liver. None of this sounds maybe a little crazy. It seems just a little crazy.
Well, hang on.
None of these ghosts are like, well, Jed, that is just a 5-year-old. And you're like, I fucking know. I hate 5-year-olds. I hate 5-year-old healthy livers. I'm going to ghost it.
So maybe you're putting too much cerebralness onto a ghost. Maybe they're leftover emotions and they don't know what they're doing.
Got it. So they're just mad. Like, I don't know if they do this anymore, but my grandparents had super nice ass furniture that had like covers on it and shit, right? Everybody kind of
yeah.
It's like, why do you even buy this thing if you can't sit on it?
Fucking plastic cat.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Anyway, those times are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole reason that your grandpa decided to ghostly annihilate your liver over time too. So like, you don't just drop dead like that motherfucker did. You're not just choking on a chicken bone. He's gonna slowly fucking cripple you and debilitate your life in ever increasing pain for whatever amount of time it takes for you to die.
Yes.
And so like, I farted, we'll just say I farted on his unplastic covered couch, and like, that's just the lingering resentment that brought him back to infest my liver.
No, like I said, I don't think it's that cerebral. I think it's more of like just emotion, like especially if it's a traumatizing
Yeah, that's
death.
what I'm talking about. My grandpa's like, that motherfucker just farted on my $4,000. He had to lift that plastic and get his little 5-year-old asshole under there to pump farts into my fucking fabric.
Yes!
And that's just his lingering, it's not cerebral. That's just, he died with that hatred in his blood. And so now he has to fucking eat kid organs?
Possibly.
Sounds legit. I'm in. You convinced me.
I mean, also, we've heard from that side. Let's hear from what the medical science says. Autoimmune disorders happen when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own tissues. Instead of only targeting viruses and bacteria, the immune system targets healthy cells. Something I'd like to point out is that when you get cancer, normally your immune system also takes care of that. So it's not just viruses and bacteria, it's also malfunctioning cells within your body.
Why are you mansplaining cancer to me?
It's not just for you.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Right?
I always just wanted to say, why are you mansplaining to me? Gotcha.
Because you're a dumb himbo.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
So
We'll have to cut this part out.
They do. Researchers believe autoimmune diseases are influenced by several factors. Genetics and infectious diseases can trigger a response like, what's that kissing one? mono. No, mono can. They're thinking mono is the cause of Epstein-Barr and MS, and it's just a virus that hangs out and causes problems forever.
That's mononucleosis and not monoghostiosis, right?
That's right, mononucleosis, not monoghostiosis.
Okay, just making sure. I want to
Maybe
make sure
maybe
we're on
monoghostiosis is an autoimmune disease caused by ghosts.
That's probably, you heard it here first, folks. Monoghostiosis.
We named it.
Money, please. Isn't that how that's how it works?
Sure. Yeah, so environmental triggers can also cause autoimmune diseases. But one thing modern medicine has never found evidence for is any connection between paranormal activity and autoimmune diseases. But they haven't been looking either, so.
Right.
There's that.
I guess it's their fault.
What do you mean? Who fault for what? For a weird theory? What do you mean fault?
It's the doctor's fault for not looking for monoghostiosis. Idiots. Medical futures now.
Medical features now. So if there is no scientific evidence, why do people still believe this?
Because they believe whatever makes them feel good. That's the point of believing. That's the point of faith. Is so that you could explain nonsense that you are afraid of or don't. Just don't. You don't have to be afraid of it. But so you can explain things that you don't understand.
There it is. Part of it comes down to how mysterious autoimmune diseases can be. They can disappear and return. They can go in remission. They can flare up.
By the way, I got to tell you about that. Never mind. Just keep going.
Tell me about what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Tell me about what?
There's no flare-up. I don't know why you would bring that up. Just keep going.
You told me you didn't have herpes.
I don't have...
Okay. And doctors sometimes take years to diagnose autoimmune diseases, if ever at all.
Yeah.
Which, that's the problem. Humans are also naturally wired to look for patterns, so they're like, this causes this, even though it didn't.
Yeah.
Still, the theory itself tells us something interesting about human biology and psychology that we don't, fully understand. And sometimes it's just, it's just ghosts in your blood, man. Monoghostiosis.
Be a reason why we're here. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you a fucking reason. Maybe there is no reason. So, I don't know. There's always people doing shit like that. There's always going to be dummies who don't get it. And with science advancing, that doesn't make it better for that group of people. That makes it worse. Because they can't keep up. And they already don't understand it. And now you're going to ask them to understand more of it. That's just not a realistic thing, right? So that's not a fucking club they can join. But you want to know a club that they can join, hiding under their blankies and pretending that they got monoghostiosis.
Yes.
Then they can all have fun together, and you're all in the club, and you don't have to be in the science club. That's for all the science dorks, whatever. And you can tell them that's religion too, just, because you don't understand how the scientific method works. But, yeah, that's why. It's because there's always going to be a large group of people at the trailing end of the curve who are more prone to needing that sort of thing to function in reality because they can't understand the explanations given to it. So it's got to be magic.
It's got to be.
It's ghosts.
It's ghosts. Today's podcast is brought to you by PAX Hybrid Fruity Punch. That's what we're smoking.
Yeah, it'll get the ghosts out of your blood.
It'll get the ghosts out of your blood. Just kidding, PAX is not sponsoring this. But, yeah. What's going on in the world this week?
They hit some remote U.S. bases. And then the United States went, oh, they shot our bases with the long-range capable missiles they said they didn't have. And it's like, what the fuck?
You bombed them. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Number one, don't pretend you didn't know. Of course you know.
Right.
Number two, you probably train these people. I don't even know if that's true. Just make that as a theory.
Yeah, so here's this is not even a conspiracy theory. This is true. The cartels that were going crazy on the border with Laredo,
Yeah,
Texas.
I know.
Down there. They
down there?
The Dnieper.
The Dnieper.
The Dnieper.
Yeah.
The Dnieper. No, they found out the CIA were the ones who trained those guys, and they were supposed to be helping Mexican government get rid of the cartels. And when the cartel was like, we'll pay you better, they went to the cartels, and then when they figured out that they could do the business better, they killed the cartels and took over. We trained them.
Yeah.
And that's not even a theory. That's just a fact. That's what happened. We trained them.
Well, we do that all across the world.
Yeah, we do.
And then we kill leaders and try to upset governments and shit. And
Sometimes it doesn't work out so well.
then there's a power vacuum, and then those people funnel in because we trained them, and it happens every time we do it, and we know it. So it's difficult to pretend.
It's an accident?
Yeah, this is an accident.
That's true.
This is like hegemony, where we can create a couple of states over there, and then we can't have any of this political shit in here.
No.
But this is hegemony stuff, where we create like a state of Israel or all of these other things that are actually our puppets, and project our hegemony in that region, and then continually destabilize anything else, so nothing could ever catch up. And so these super duper rich oil producing nations can't really get too far of a leg ahead against anyone else, such that they could go into Africa and start doing what colonizers do. But
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think all this shit is. That's my personal conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I agree. Well, next week will be a new conspiracy. Any requests
From me or from the people?
from you?
I mean, we could do the flat Earth thing, but I think everybody knows about some flat Earth.
They know about it, but do they know about the portals?
I don't think they know about the portals, and I don't think they know about the Zionist Jews on the other side of the flat Earth that control this side's money and media to be workers for them. We should talk about that.
All right, then. Until next time.
This is a real theory, we didn't make this shit up.
No, we heard this from somebody else while we were...
Yeah, we should probably do some intros where we explain these are not our ideas.
Sure.
We're not. Whatever. She's gonna get some fucking death threats or something, though.
Nah. So, monoghostiosis. Conspiracy or coincidence?
I don't know. Conspiracy, probably, by Big Ghost.
My big ghost.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
pushing monoghostiosis.
Yeah, I think we know where this landed.
Yeah, I think we do too. Well, that's a wrap. That's the Metal Hat.
If you enjoyed this, follow the show.
And send us the strangest conspiracy you've ever heard of. The metalhat0@gmail.com. Again, that's the metalhat0@gmail.com.
Wherever you send us, we'll put it under the microscope and give it a deep dive.
Until next time, the truth
Truth is out there.